Good evening. Am I audible to you?
Yeah,
So
hi,
name-
sir.
Okay, right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you are audible. Good evening.
Okay. Hmm. Let's begin the session. So in the previous class, we discussed about OLTP and OLAP. OLTP, online transaction processing, online analytical processing. So these two are the major workloads, okay, in SQL Server. We have seen example also, Amazon example we have taken, and we have seen the roles and responsibilities of DBA and the roles and responsibilities of a database developer also, okay, versions. And after that, important thing is client server architecture. Client server architecture, we covered that. So here we have client side application we have, and a server wherever we install SQL server. So that is called a server system. We call it as server system. Okay. So actually our server, SQL server, in the sense SQL server database engine will be there. Okay. And the client side application is our SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio, is the application. Okay. And we have other applications also, web applications, mobile applications. Okay, we can connect to the server using web application, mobile applications also. But here our requirement is to work on SQL Server using SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, that we have seen, and components in SQL Server, client server. Client in the server, I already told you that it is SQL Server Management Studio here, and network protocol. Using network protocol, we can connect to the SQL server. Okay, using network protocol. It enables communication. Between the client application and the server. TCP, IP. These things I explain later. SQL Server Engine. It is the main server. Whenever we send a request or whenever we submit a query to the server from the client application, SQL Server receives the query and it parses the query. After that, it executes it and returns the result. Parsing in the sense finding syntactical errors, whether it is correct or not. It checks the query. Okay, and the next one is a database. It stores data in the tables, rows and columns. Okay. Finally, services. We have certain services in SQL Server where SQL agent, it is for automation, main important thing. After that, we also have SSRS, SQL Server reporting services, and analytical services also we have. Okay, these are the services. These are the 5 components of SQL Server. Okay, after that, we have seen what is the use of structured query language, and also why we need TSQL. Transact SQL. Transact SQL is for programming part. It is programming part here. Okay, because we can't do programming related things using SQL. We can do with TSQL. It is an extension to SQL. Okay, Microsoft has designed their own programming language in using SQL. Okay, that is called Transact SQL, like PLSQL in Oracle. Okay, and also we covered SQL commands. These are the 5 types of SQL commands: data definition language, DML, data manipulation language, data query language, transaction control language, and data control language. Okay, we covered these things, and let us start today. Let us see. Anybody installed SQL Server in your system? Have you tried that? Okay, let us see the installation part first. Okay, here let me show you the hardware requirement. It needs actually we install developer edition. We install developer edition, not express edition. Okay, so for all other editions 1 GB, for express edition it takes 512 MB, but we install what you call developer edition. Okay, and it needs 6 GB of available hard disk. Okay, and also 64 processor, whether you install it in laptop or system desktop, it must be 64 processor. Okay, and also the operating system is Windows 10 or above. Windows 10 or above. Okay, it supports. Okay, you have to install SQL Server and along with the .NET framework. By default, it installs, no issue. Okay, whenever we try to install SQL Server 2022, by default it installs this framework. No need to bother about that. And let me explain you what exactly we have to install. Okay, here let me open this link first. Here, see, we have SQL Server 2022 Developer Edition. We have SQL Server 2022 Developer Edition. Okay, just try to download this one. Okay, let me click on that. It will run. It is running. See, here you select basic, the first option. Okay, developer edition it is. Okay, next accept. After that, you click on install button. You click on install button. Okay. It's going on. Okay, let me, meanwhile, I will explain this. Okay, so here it goes like this. Okay, it tries to install developer edition, and here if you see this left side installation, you have to select that one, installation. You have to select the left side one, installation. After that, you click on new SQL Server standalone installation. You have to select the first option. You have to select the first option. Okay, it is still installing. Okay, first option you have to select. You have to select installation from the left side and first option from the right side. Okay, after that it asks you few options. Here it shows you what is this message. Okay, so you have to select, by default it is developer edition only. Okay, no need to worry. You just click on next button. Still it is going on. Next button. After that it goes like this. You click on next like that. Even though it shows you Windows firewall warning, no need to bother about that. You just click on next. Okay, next. See, this is the Azure extension for SQL Server. Here, if you have Azure account, anybody has experience on that, if you have any account in Azure, that you can select here. Okay, otherwise no need to select. Okay, you just leave that one. And click on next. Okay, otherwise if you click on this one, you have to give the details here, Azure related credentials you have to give. If you have principal ID, you have to give that. Otherwise, login credentials, to give that, you have to select the first option, use Azure login option here, radio button here, and you have to give that credentials. Okay, but usually no need as of now. Okay, and here you can select all the options here. You just click on select all. Select all, you click on select all option, it selects everything here. Okay, click on next. Okay, the next one is default instance, named instance. Okay, you select default instance. You select default instance. Okay, whichever the name it shows. Okay, by default it gives a name here. Otherwise, if you want to go with the named instance, you have to give the name here. Okay, but usually we select the first one, but in my system I have some other versions also. Okay, that's why I gave for multiple installations, I gave named instance here. Okay, but you need to select default instance. Okay, after that, click on next. Click on next. After that, here the next one is a database engine configuration. Database engine configuration. Here it shows two authentications. One is Windows authentication mode, another one is mixed mode. Mixed mode, that means SQL Server authentication and Windows authentication. Okay, you select mixed mode. You select mixed mode, and by default this mixed mode, its user is, see here it is showing SA, system administrator. Okay, system administrator, SA is system administrator. It is the user. By default it is the user, and you give your password, whichever password you give. Okay, you enter 2 times here, enter password and confirm password. And also you click on add current user. Click on add current user and click on next button. Okay, next one, no need to select here, it goes like this, and you click on install button. Ready to install, you click on install button. So here it installs and it shows you message complete. Okay, that is the process of installation. It is still going on because I already have SQL Server, no need to worry. Okay, I will cancel this one. After that, till now we installed SQL Server. Till now we installed SQL Server. Then what about SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio? What is that? Client application. So to install SQL Server Client tool, SQL Server Management Studio tool, you have to download from here. Okay, I will share this document soon. Okay, okay, go to here. Okay, here see download SQL Server Management Studio. You have to click on this. Okay, you have to click on this. Once it is downloaded, just click on this and click on next. It will install, no issue. Okay, after that, current SQL Server Management Studio release. Okay, see here, this is the one, download SQL Server Management Studio SSMS 21. It shows like this. Okay, you have to install that one. That means we are installing SQL Server as well as client application SQL Server Management Studio in our system. Okay, that is the installation process here. Okay, let me cancel this one. It is taking too much time. Okay, but I have already installed now. Let me cancel this one. Okay. Next.
So this like SQL servers are already there into the SQL Server Management Studio. Additionally, we don't have to install. We installing the studio.
I did not understand. What is that?
No, I'm asking this SQL server which we have downloaded in the first time. That is, this is already there in the Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio.
So, actually, see, when you download the first one, I showed you, when you try to install that one, at the end of the installation, it shows you tools also there. Okay, last wizard, if you see, if you observe that, it shows you a tool, SQL Server tool also. There also you can click on that. Otherwise, you can go to SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server website, and there you get the link. I showed you that. You can click on that and you can install it. Client application. Okay, in both the ways you can install, no problem. Here it is. Let me close. You understood or not? Here the thing is, once you install the first one, After installing, it shows you link here. SQL, this is, I think, old wizard, this one. But it shows you last wizard, it shows you SQL Server Management Studio link also. Directly you can click on that. Otherwise, you can click on this link. Otherwise, you Google it. SQL Server Client Tool, SQL Server Management Studio tool. Okay, you Google it, you will get the link. Directly you can install that. Both the ways you can do it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you try to do it. Otherwise, if you have any problems, then let me know. Okay. Usually configuration is important. Your server configuration, what type of configuration it is, that we need to see. Your system configuration I'm talking about. Okay.
Okay.
Next one is
Sir, sir, I have already like SQL Server installed, but that is version that in 1719, yeah, Express edition. So I need to install this one, developer edition.
you try to install developer version only.
So for this, I can uninstall or can I upgrade to this?
No, why unnecessarily wasting your memory? You just uninstall the Express edition first. Okay. After that, try to download developer edition and install.
So what is the difference in this developer edition, Express edition?
Actually, it depends upon the features. The basic features we get in SQL Express, okay, and the full features you get in developer version. Okay. So you just uninstall Express edition and install this developer edition. Okay.
So SSMS can I keep as it is, right? Only need to remove that main one, right?
SSMS already installed.
Yeah.
Okay, no need. Actually, Express you can uninstall and install developer edition. That is enough. No need to install. No need to uninstall SSMS. Okay. Understood?
And I have installed two servers. One is 17 and one is 19. So I need to remove both because long back I have installed two. I was learning something. Yeah. So can I remove both, right?
If you have more space in your system, you can leave like that. Otherwise, if you want to upgrade, you can install 2021. Before installing, you can remove the previous versions. If you don't
So
want.
if I install this developer one 2021, that will also coming in the same management studio, but the select way is different, right?
It's a it is like 17, 19
Can
we install separately.
can you show if you have some multiple server, then how you are accessing switching the
see here it shows, see it is 2022. I also have another version here. Okay, I think 19 or something I installed. Another version is also there here. See 2022, you can see here. Just see. Okay, it shows you multiple versions. No issue. If you want, you can leave like that. Otherwise, you uninstall the previous versions and install latest. Okay. Understood?
yeah, and I will install. I will see how it's working.
Okay, fine. Okay, let's start the class. Okay. Now, once you install, we have to connect to the SQL server. We have to connect to the SQL server, right? Now, how to connect? How to connect to SQL server? How to connect to SQL server? Now, to connect to a SQL server, just open SSMS. Here we opened it. Okay. See here, it is showing some options here. Okay. The first one is server type, server name. See, server name. This is the server name. It is here. 1 second. It is connected. Wait, it is trying to connect.
So did we click on the connect? Then which
sorry.
one? Like, did we click on the connect on top? Then which one we have selected?
Here it shows you all the connections, recent connections. It shows you all the recent connections. Okay. Here we have a Windows authentication connection and SA, system administrator connection also we have. Okay. Username is SA. That also we have. Okay. Now let us see server name. This server name. Let us see the server name. Here server name is the computer name. It is the computer name. It takes computer name. Server name in the sense computer name. Okay. And here authentication we have authentication. Authentication meaning is it is the process of identifying the user. It is the process of identifying the user. Okay. Here we have many options here. Authentication. For authentication, we have many options here. Let me write here. Authentication. First, what it asks you? Server name. Server name. In the open SSMS. Okay. First server name. Server name. In the sense, computer name. System name, you can take system name. It is system name. Okay, system name. It takes that by default, it takes that one. Okay, no issue. Then next one is authentication. Authentication. What does it mean? It is the process of identifying the user. It is the process of identifying the user. Okay. Here the first option is Windows authentication. Windows authentication. The next one is SQL Server authentication. Okay, this Windows authentication is for single user. I installed SQL Server in my system, right? I only use this system. Nobody uses this one, right? So I can use Windows authentication here. That means Windows authentication in the sense those who are authenticated users of the Windows operating system will be considered by default as the user of the SQL Server. That's why Windows authentication, when you select this one, it doesn't ask the username and password. It is for single user. It is for single user. The moment when you select SQL Server authentication, it asks you username and password. See, it is asking username and password. Okay, that means we work multiple developers. We have multiple developers in the company, and everybody will be given credentials, username and password, right? So in their system, after installing SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio, they can connect to the server which may be in the company premises, or it may be in the cloud. They can connect by using the credentials provided by the company. Okay. So in that case, what they select is SQL Server authentication. This is for multiple users. This is for multiple users. Let me write that here. Okay. Windows authentication. This is for single user. This is for single user. Okay. Next, SQL Server authentication. This is for multiple users. Okay. Here, when you select multiple, this is SQL Server authentication. Here, usually what you give is IP address. If the server is in the organization's premises, they have IP address, right? They give IP address. It is somewhere in the remote location. If you know the IP address, you can give that IP address here, like 192.162, like that. You give that IP address and give a user ID and password by selecting SQL Server authentication. That way you can connect to the remote SQL server. Okay, that means this is for multiple users. This is for multiple users. Next, the next one is see Microsoft Entra password, Microsoft Entra integrated, Microsoft Entra MFA. See, many other options also there. Here Microsoft Entra means here actually earlier the organizations to manage or to control all the systems, they used to maintain a server system in the organization's premises. Okay, one second. Okay, so they used to maintain a server system in their organization's premises, and through that server system, server in the sense, don't think it is SQL server in the sense, see, usually we have Windows 10 operating system, right, and Windows 11 operating system. They are client operating system. In the same way, we have server machines, server operating systems. Okay, we have Windows 2019 version, it is there, 17 version is there, and 2022 is there, and 2025 is also going to come. So server operating systems are different. Okay, they used to install that in system, and that is a server system. Through that server system, they used to control all the client systems. Okay, so system administrator used to create users, that means employees accounts, okay, who are working in that company. And also he used to create user IDs and passwords, that means credentials for the employees there in the server system. Okay, there actually they have Active Directory, a directory service called Active Directory in the server system. There the system administrator, he creates the users and he creates the credentials for all the employees. Okay, and through this Active Directory only he can control all the client systems in the company, in the organization. Okay, he can control it. But later companies, they started using cloud technologies. Particularly if you take Microsoft, they introduced Azure Cloud Service. So here the companies, they can use infrastructure service and they can create whatever resources they need. They can create virtual systems in the cloud itself. Okay, and they can give access to the employees. So and to control these systems in the cloud, what service we are using? Azure Cloud Service we are using, right? So to control these systems, we also have Azure Active Directory. It is similar to Active Directory in the server earlier companies used to maintain in the company premises. Okay, but later on in 2023, in the year of 2023, Microsoft renamed Azure Active Directory as Microsoft Entra ID. Microsoft renamed Azure Active Directory as Microsoft Entra ID. Okay, it is similar to Active Directory. I said already. Okay, it is similar to Active Directory. Now here this Microsoft Entra ID, it is an identity and access management solution. Let me write here. Okay, Entra ID regarding that. Okay, Microsoft Entra ID is an identity access management. That means IAM. Okay, identity access management solution that helps that helps organizations secure and manage secure and manage identities in cloud and on premises on premises environments. Okay. Both the systems, one which is in cloud and another one is organizations premises. Okay, both the systems. Okay, so it is an identity access management solution that helps organizations secure and manage identities. Okay, now what I said earlier, it was Azure AD, Active Directory. That means Active Directory, or let me write Active Directory. Okay, earlier it was Active Directory, but in the year of 2023, Microsoft renamed it as Microsoft Entra ID. Okay, that is Microsoft Entra ID. Okay, that means it manages user logins. And access to applications, cloud services, and data. It manages user logins. Okay, now user logins in the sense what exactly? Authentication. Once he is authenticated, what kind of services he can use? That means authentication. Authentication. Okay, now let me write here authentication and authorization. What does it mean? Okay, authentication. Okay, authentication is the process of identifying the user, and authorization is the process of giving access privileges, okay, to the user once he is authenticated. Okay, authentication is the process of identifying the user, and authorization is the process of giving access privileges to the user once he is authorized or authenticated. Okay, let me write like this: user. Okay, this is authentication and this is authorization. Okay, now that means what authentication says? Authentication in the sense, who are you? Okay, who are you? That means it is authentication. Okay, next, what the user can access. That means it is authorization. Okay, authentication and authorization. Okay, now how it helps the organization? How it this IAM, Identity Access Management, Microsoft Entra ID, helps the organizations. Okay, it helps the organizations. The first one is to prevent unauthorized unauthorized access, to prevent unauthorized access. Okay, the second one is to apply multi-factor authentication. Okay, authentication. Usually we also use this one in the Google service. We have it. Okay, authentication, multi-factor authentication. Okay, third one, to secure both employees and external users. Okay, and the fourth one is to simplify logins, to simplify logins. Okay, now let us see one by one. Here SQL Server login. Here in this page, what we have: Microsoft Entra password, Microsoft Entra integrated MFA managed identity service protocol, and default. Let us see one by one what is the purpose of these things. Okay, the first one is what? Microsoft Entra password. Microsoft Entra password. Microsoft Entra. Okay, Entra password. Microsoft Entra password. Okay, this is, let me see, SQL authentication password. Password, right? It uses username or email. Okay, and password for cloud access. Okay, it uses username or email and password for cloud access. This is Microsoft Entra password. Okay, the next one is Microsoft Entra integrated. Microsoft Entra integrated. It uses our Windows or domain account to authenticate automatically. Okay, so that means no need to re-enter credentials. Okay, credentials. Okay, like our Windows authentication. See, when I select Windows authentication, it did not ask me the user ID and password. Okay, that means those who are authenticated users of the operating system, they can log in into the system if you select this one. In the same way, it takes Windows authentication as the default one. Entra integrated. Okay, this is integrated. And the third one is MFA. Microsoft Entra MFA. Okay, actually it uses OTP. Okay, using OTP also we can log in sometime, right? OTP via SMS or email. Okay, email. And also Microsoft Authenticator app. We have Authenticator app that you can install in your mobile. If you have Microsoft user ID and password, if you have account in Microsoft website, you can install Microsoft Authenticator app in your mobile, and whenever you want to log in into the website, you can use Microsoft Authenticator app. The moment you select the option here, okay, there you can log into the system, actual system, Microsoft system. Okay, website. Next, biometric face or fingerprint. Okay, this is Microsoft Entra, Microsoft Entra MFA, MFA. Okay, multi-factor authentication. We call it as multi-factor authentication. Next one is managed identity. Entra managed identity. Microsoft Entra managed identity. Okay, managed identity. Actually, in Azure, we have Azure services like virtual machines, functions, web applications, etc. Okay, so we use Microsoft Entra managed identity for these Azure services. Okay, it is for Azure services. It is for Azure services like virtual machines we can create, right? Functions and web applications, web apps, okay, etc. This is for Azure services. Okay, the fifth one is service principal. Microsoft service principal. It is actually for automation scripts. Okay, it is for applications or automation scripts. Okay, in Microsoft we have several types of services. Okay, it is for automation scripts, and we also have the last one is default. See, and this is the default one. Okay, default. Microsoft Entra default. That means it is for Azure tools like SDK, software development kits. Okay, Azure CLI, command line interface. Okay, or Terraform. Okay, these are the some tools we use in Azure. These are some tools. Okay, SDK, software development kits. Okay, whichever credentials we use there, the same credentials it has when you select Microsoft Entra default. The moment you select this one, if you give these credentials, it accepts that. Okay, that is the Microsoft Entra different kind of authentication, what you call options, authentication options. These are the options. Okay, now the next one is see here, database name. Of course we select database name here because here it is not yet authenticated. Okay, suppose if it is Windows authentication, let us see. It is showing all the databases. Okay, it is showing databases. Okay, after that you see encrypt. It has mandatory, optional, strict. Three options are there for encrypt. Under that you see trust server certificate option. It is there, trust server certificate. Okay, let me explain to that first. Okay, the next one is connection security. Okay, here actually when a client here, what is the client here? Application, SSMS application, SQL Server Management Studio connects to SQL Server to provide security. We use encryption. Let me write here. When a client example SSMS, okay, connects to SQL Server the connection can be protected using encryption so that others cannot see the data. Others cannot see the data. Okay, the data in the sense data being sent over the network. Okay, when we connect to the SQL server, so the connection must be protected by using what we can protect it, encryption, by using encryption. For example, if you see the website, usually HTTP, you see that. And particularly if you open banking related applications, you find HTTPS. That means a secured connection. That is HTTPS in the sense it's a secured connection. For the remaining websites, we can have HTTP, but because of the see banking related transactions, many happen, right? So there is a chance of getting hacked, those websites, right? So that's why banking, the banks provide security for them. How they provide? Some encryption they do. Okay, for that they buy SSL certificate. We call it as secure socket layer. They use SSL, okay, to provide the security. How they providing security? They encrypting the connection. Okay, so internally or it uses SSL or TLS to encrypt the connection. Encrypt the connection. See what is here. Trust server certificate option we have. Okay, trust server certificate. Okay, that is the certificate here. That is called transport layer security. Transport layer security. Okay, this SSL, secure socket layer, or TLS, transport layer security, are cryptographic protocols. They are the cryptographic protocols used to secure communication over a network. Okay, that is the advantage of SSL and TLS. Okay, but here trust server certificate we have. Okay, first let me write that one. Okay, trust server certificate. What is this? Trust server certificate. Okay, trust server certificate is a setting. It is a setting used when connecting to SQL server. Okay, SQL server over a secure connection. Or a secure connection. It is a setting, okay, used when connecting to SQL server. Okay, what it tells is, it tells the client, client in the sense what? Here our application SSMS, whether or not to trust the servers SSL or TLS certificate without validating it. That means, see, I told you HTTP and HTTPS. Okay, what is the use of HTTPS? There they use a secure socket layer. Okay, it's a certificate. It's a internally it uses a certificate for the what you call encryption. Encryption certificate will be there. Okay, for the purpose of encrypting, we use a certificate there. So here also in SQL server they use a certificate. What that certificate? SSL, TLS certificate they use. Now here what this option is, trust server certificate. Here it is showing in the SSMS. Here it is by default selected. See, selected. That means here it has two options. If you select this one, true. If you not selected this one, false. false. It's a setting internally. If you select that one, it takes that one. Okay. If it is true, skips certificate validation. Okay. It skips certification validation, but it encrypts or just encrypts it. Okay. Encrypts. It skips certification validation. Suppose if the checkbox is not selected, that means false. Okay, false. That means validates the certificate fully. It validates the certificate fully. Okay, that means it checks the host name and all, host name, okay, etc. Host name in the sense, see, SQL server has a certificate. What type of certificate? SSL or TLS certificate it has. Okay. So this host name in the certificate is what exactly is when encryption is used, SQL server may use a certificate and this certificate as a name, host name in the certificate. It maintains that host name in the certificate. Okay. That means here, if you select trust server certificate, that means you are saying the checkbox is selected. That means you trust the server certificate. That means if it is true, it skips the certificate validation and it encrypts. If it is false, then it has to validate the certificate fully. That means it checks the host name also. See, under this it has here we don't have that option. 1 second, I will show you default. It is not showing what advanced. Go to advanced. Name here, something host name. We get host name. Okay, usually companies they give see here host name in certificate. See this option. Okay, they give that name, and whenever you unselect this trust server certificate, it validates the certificate. Okay, using that host name. Okay, that is the purpose of trust server certificate. Now then come to encryption. Encrypt, mandatory, optional, strict. What are they? Okay, now you will understand that easily. Now what is the first one? Mandatory. Okay, mandatory in the sense must use encryption. Okay, must use encryption and validate certificate properly. Okay, what does it mean? If you select mandatory, must use encryption and validate certificate properly. Okay, next one, strict in the sense must use encryption. Okay, must use encryption and validate. Okay, actually no, the first one is no validation. No, sorry, it doesn't here. It doesn't check certificate. Okay, it doesn't check certificate. Sorry, this is the first option, mandatory. It uses encryption but doesn't check certificate. Okay, strict in the sense, now see, must use encryption and validate certificate properly. Okay, properly, it validates certificate. If you select strict, it validates certificate also. Okay, and optional is it tries encryption. Okay, when if available. It tries encryption if available. Otherwise it will leave it. Okay, it will leave. Okay, that's it, optional. It depends upon our requirement. If it is optional, then it tries for encryption if it is available. Otherwise it will leave. Okay, now so these are the encryption options here. Okay, and trust certificate. Now here we have color option. It is there here, multiple colors, red, green, blue, yellow, orange colors are there. Actually in companies they use development system. Okay, development server, development testing server also we use. Okay, production server we use, and UAT also you use, right? Here if you select the color now, you can easily identify that. Suppose if you are using a production server, here you are trying to connect to the production server using this application, you keep red. It is up to you. By seeing this red color, you easily identify, oh, this is a production server. Okay, suppose if you use green color, it is up to you. It is a developer server. If you use blue or yellow, other orange, other colors, particularly for a testing server, you can select any one of them. Or for UAT, user acceptance test is also there now. So there also we have server, right? So for that also you can select one more color here. It is for just for identifying to which server you are connecting to using the SSMS. Okay, client side application. That is the purpose of here, the color. Okay, no need to worry about this. Okay, but remaining options, if you try to understand this clearly, then you can work with the local system, or tomorrow if you get any credentials to the server which is in remote location, they give IP address and you can use that easily here, and you can give access privileges, you can give user ID and password, you can connect it. Okay, it depends upon the company policy. It depends upon the company policy, what type of they are using. Okay, that is the thing here. Okay, now let us try to connect here. Already connected here. Okay, see, let me save this document. Okay, see, now we connected to the server. The server in the sense this is client application, client side application. Okay, here the complete thing is SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, the whole thing is completely, it is SQL Server Management Studio. It's a client application. It's a client application. Okay, it is a new query window. I opened it, client application. Okay, but where is SQL Server? SQL Server is also there, but it is in the background process. It works in the background process that you cannot see. What you can see is this application. Using this application, you can connect to the server and you can work on the database. Okay, that SQL Server you cannot see. Okay, now if you see the left side one here, this is Object Explorer. This is Object Explorer. Under this Object Explorer, we have databases. Okay, and after this, under this databases folder, you see system databases, master database we have, model database we have, MSDB we have, TempDB database we have, system databases, and these are the databases we created. We can create a database, our own databases here, but a system also has some databases. These are the 4 types of databases, system databases. They are default databases. They are default databases. Let me write here. Okay, one by one, what are they? Okay, system databases, okay, system databases. These are the default databases. Okay, the first one is master database. What it is? it contains information about all databases. Here see, we created number of databases here, right? So here it is the master database. What it contains? It contains information about all databases, and also it contains logins information, logins, and also system configuration. It is a master database, right? System configuration, and file locations it contains. Okay, and also it is very important file, actually, master database. Suppose if you miss this one, if it is lost or corrupted, then SQL server may not start. It is very important, this master database. You should not delete this one. So if this is lost or corrupted, then SQL server may not start. Okay, this is an important file, master database. Okay, now next one is model database. What does it mean? Model, what does it mean? Model, it's a model database. Okay, actually it is a template database. It is a template database. It is a template database. Okay, if you know the object oriented programming class we have, okay, and we create object for a class, we write a class. Okay, with class we cannot directly work, right? Anyhow, we have to create object. When you create an object, we call it as instance. Also we call it as instance. What does it mean? Where is that model? What is the reference? Class is the reference for that, right? Class is the reference. It's a model. Class is a model. In the same way, whenever you create a database in SQL server, now here we are creating databases here. To create that database, whenever you try to create a database, it takes a reference from this model database. It is a template database. Okay, it is used to create new database or new databases. It is used to create new databases. That means every time we create new database, SQL server, okay, SQL server uses the model, okay, as a blueprint. It's a template database. Okay, next, MSDB. Okay, I discussed about SQL Server agent earlier. Yesterday I showed you 5 components. Okay, SQL Server agent. Okay, it is for automation. Okay, in the same way here, MSDB, it's a scheduling and automation database. Scheduling and automation database. What it contains? It contains jobs in the sense we create tasks. Task is nothing but job. Backups, alerts, we can create alerts also, and also we can have maintenance plan. We can have maintenance plans also. We can have that information will be in MSDB database. Okay, it is used by SQL server agent. It's a service. It's a service for automating, okay, tasks. Okay, when we discuss about SQL server agent, then you will understand. Okay, next one, tempdb. What is tempdb? Here actually temporary, right? That means it's a temporary storage. It's a temporary storage. Okay. What is the use? It is used for temporary tables. Tables. Okay. For what we use temporary tables? For intermediate. Okay. Intermediate results. Okay. Results and sorting operations. Sorting operations, and it automatically clears and resets every time SQL server restarts. It is temporary, right? So whenever SQL server is restarted, okay, these temporary tables will be removed. Okay, it resets. That is the use of temp database. Okay, now let us try to create one database here. Okay, go to here and right click on databases here. It is opening. See here. Okay. Database name. Here it is asking database name. Example here. Suppose customer database. Just give any name. Okay. Custom database. Okay, these things I will explain later here. Logical name, what is this file groups, primary. Okay, what is this log? That I will explain you later. Okay, customer database. Okay, by default this owner, what is the owner? I will explain that later. Okay, we have options. Here this recovery models, compatibility level. Okay, all these things. What is collation? What is the collation? These things I will discuss that later. Okay, just click on okay. Customer database. Okay, see, customer database is created here. Again, it has many options here. Okay, we can create tables here. Okay, here you can create tables. Okay, let us see the properties. Go to properties and see. Okay, here it shows all the database properties. Okay, from where it is getting this information from the master database. Sorry, here what is this? Model database. Model database, what it is? Template database. Model database is template database. Whenever you create a customer database, whenever you create a new database, how it is creating? It is taking model database is a blueprint. It's a template database. It is taking that model and creating this database. It is a reference. Model database it is a reference. Just like our class, we create object. From where we are creating object? First we write the class and we create an instance. That means object. In the same way, when you create a database, how it is creating? It is taking model database as a reference. It is a template database and creating this database. Okay, all this information from where it is getting? From the model database only. All the properties. Okay, all the properties it gets from model database. And where this information, this database related information will be saved or stored? Master database. Here you get master database. In this we can have all the database related information, login information, and everything will be stored in master database. Okay, so that is the thing. Okay, so tomorrow we'll see SQL Server configuration manager, how to connect to SQL Server, different types of protocols. Okay, network configurations and all. After that we will go with some these how to create a database again, and what types of files will be created internally when we create a database, what is the purpose of MDF and LDF uses, all these things tomorrow we can see. Okay, so we can continue this class tomorrow. Any doubts you have? What is this? What is this? Normalization and acid properties. Yeah, okay, I'll teach you that also. Acid properties and normalization. Sachin Raj. Okay, I'll teach you that. What is this, sir? Can we stop? Okay. Beer Singh. See, class will be continued. If you have any other class, you can leave it and you can attend that class, no problem. But you can get the access to this video, no problem. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yeah, sir. That's
okay. Fine. Any other doubts you have?
Sir, for installation, will you give this document?
I will share with you. One second. Wait. Installation. SQL Server 2022 installation. Okay. Wait a second, I'm uploading. SQL Server. Okay. Just see. Okay. Once you downloaded it, let me know. Try to download this. Once it is done, let me know.
Yeah, it's
Is it
done, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Do you have any doubts? Okay, fine. Then you can continue. We can continue this in the next class. Okay, fine. Good night.